Gypsies and Travellers' ability to practice roadside ways of life has been significantly cut back over time, especially since the 1960s, but also before that, and culminating really in the Police Act, which is, for some people that we've spoken to, they see that as the final nail in the coffin, really, of their ability to practice roadside ways of life. Our research is really trying to seek to unsettle these ideas we have about property and show how racist discourses that affect Gypsies and Travellers led to these quite significant outcomes and are linked deeply to our idea of what is normal use of property. So we want to articulate the impacts, the immediate impacts that the Police Act are having on people's lives in the last 2 years. But it's so important that we understand that as part of a longer history of laws that are all culminating, and building up to steadily criminalise people's uses of land. So what we really need to do actually is unsettle our ideas about property as being this fixed, immutable thing that isn't questionable, we might not even be aware of, and try to understand how having that perception of property is having quite significant and immediate harms on some of the most marginalised groups in our society. Leedsgate and Streets Kitchen are research partners in the project. So what that means is they've helped co-design the project, tell us about some of the outcomes they want from the project, and we've been working together over the last year to a year and a half with them on that. So Leedsgate is a membership organisation that are led by and represent Gypsies and Travellers, and they're based in West Yorkshire. So they do campaign work, but they also do outreach work, and they have a community hub there. And we did fieldwork with them. So that involved interviews, mental sketch mapping, digging into some of their archives, and going out on outreach specifically to roadside communities. Streets Kitchen is a grassroots organisation based in London, and what they do is support and attend to and work with people who are living street homeless in London. So that includes people who are sleeping rough, but also people who are experiencing hidden homelessness. When we were there in June last year, there was a heat wave, and that impacted all the different ways we were working with Streets Kitchen. So we'd be going out on outreach, handing out breakfasts, but also additional water and sun cream to people who were being exposed to extreme heat. But then we were also mental sketch mapping and interviewing people who are experiencing street homelessness on their experiences of policing and private security in London. And then we would go back to the community hub that Streets Kitchen have and see how they're lobbying local boroughs and also up to the level of the London Mayor to implement SWEP, which is the Severe Weather Emergency Protocol. When you're being moved along all the time, you might not be moved into a shady place, more likely to be moved into a place where you're exposed to the sun. So we're able to experience and learn from Streets Kitchen's work, but also be in contact with people who are immediately experiencing street homelessness in London in that specific context of the heat wave. Stigmas and stereotypes and perceptions. In this project, we see how they're really linked to property use and the different ways that we use property. There's norms in society where you can use property in certain ways, and these groups often fall out of that. What we're trying to do is show how laws like the Police Act and property norms sort of try to homogenise property relations and show that there's actually a lot more diversity going on.